Peace. I pray that this video finds everyone doing as well as to be expected in times like these. So I wanted to come on live just to give you guys a few health tips, just a few health tips that I want to pass on. Now, although there has not been a nationwide ban on dairy products, I am letting my friends, family, followers, tribe, I'm passing this on to the tribe. If you are a asthmatic individual, if you have asthma, if you have any like pre-conditions, as they said, that means that you are actually more susceptible to not just contracting, it's not just contracting the virus. Remember, it's about your immunity. It's about your immune system's ability to be able to fight off the virus. Now, I am not a medical profession, I will say that, but I will say I know enough to share this little bit of information to you. And it is, if you have asthma or any type of a pre-existing condition, health condition, you do not need to be consuming dairy, period, at all. No dairy, no milk. Don't drink it. Don't give it to your children. Don't give it to your spouse. Don't give it to your mother. Don't give it to your father. No dairy. That includes milk. That includes cheese. That includes anything that is related to dairy. Why, Amani? Why are you saying that we should not be consuming dairy products right now, Amani? We should not be consuming dairy right now because dairy is really one of the top ways that we build up mucus in our bodies, guys. Dairy products are mucus builders. They do not help if your body is already trying to fight off a virus or fight off something, because remember, it attacks your lungs. So basically, that's going to affect your ability to breathe. Your lungs collapse, or you suffocate, or you basically, they fill up with fluid or inflammation. So when that's going on, give your body a fighting chance by, number one, not consuming dairy products. Period. No milk, no cheese, none of that. Cut that from your diet until for the next few months. Everybody needs to cut back on dairy. Now, of course, I could go into the whole meat situation and talk about meats. And right now, I just want to focus specifically on dairy because of the fact that, if your body is already fighting off a virus that is attacking and creating mucus, that's filling up your lungs and your inability to breathe, I want to focus primarily on that. Another thing that I've read, common sense. I talk about common sense solutions, guys, because people like me who try to think ahead. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we can get so far ahead that it seems unrealistic, or it may to some people. Some of y'all have been right here with me from the beginning. When I started talking about, holistic health, y'all have been right there with me like, okay, yeah, I see that. Some people, what I'm saying, are just so connected to the way that they're used to eating and the way that they're used to living that it just seemed far-fetched. But now it's starting to make sense. But there are no nonsense ways that we can, and relatively easy ways that just require some discipline. Of how we can fortify ourselves. The first tip that I gave you was no dairy. The second tip that I gave you, I think I showed this before, because I was ill. This was before coronavirus. Let me just say that before somebody take that, and run to the hills, the high heavens, and come back. But anyway, this was back in January. But I took vitamin C. I have a vitamin C supplement here. This is a powder and it helps support a healthy immune system. But it has a lot of different, it's vitamin C, but other things are mixed in, so it actually promotes joint health and all that kind of stuff as well. But this is, and I'll show it to you guys. I don't know if y'all can see, but it's just like a white powder substance. And I usually shoot it, like literally, I will shoot this down. I don't even, you can mix it in a smoothie, you can, put this, but I take 2 to sometimes 3 doses of this a day. But it's highly concentrated vitamin C. And also, I've talked to you guys about colloidal silver as well. Let me show you that too. Okay. This is colloidal silver. This is one of the strongest natural antibiotics known to mankind. And you don't need a prescription to get colloidal silver. Whereas a lot of other antibiotics that are on the market from pharmaceuticals, you have to get a prescription in order to have, to get that antibiotic. This is colloidal silver. The reason I like this brand right here, guys, is this one reason right here. You see that? Straight up into your nasal passageways. So this is colloidal silver. I do 2 sprays of this in my nostrils twice a day, because I'm not sick, because I'm not, if I was sick, I might be doing it more, but I'm not sick. So I do 2 sprays of colloidal silver, which is, and you can look on it, it says what? I don't know if y'all can see that. Immune support. So colloidal silver, this is the nasal spray. Now, I know they have a lot of different kinds. They have droplets that you can get, the kind that is actually droplets, and I guess you put it in, I don't know if you mix that or whatever, but I like this because it goes directly into my sinuses, like bam, I'm killing whatever is up in there. I just spray it, keep going, you know what I'm saying? So I ordered this online, Brother Sam. My colloidal silver, I ordered online. This brand is called Sovereign Silver. It's called Sovereign Silver. So yeah, it's good for immune maintenance. For immune maintenance, it says you would do your sprays once daily. For immunity building, you would do it 3 times daily. For long-term immune support, which would be if you think you've been exposed to some don't feel right, you would do that 5 times daily. For short-term immune support, it says 7 times daily. So I'm assuming I'm not really, I will let a medical professional describe what the difference between long and short term, but I just do about 3, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays I'm doing morning, afternoon, evening, just to, be on the safe side. And I'm also doing vitamin C powder twice a day. And if this gets any worse, then I may increase that. The only reason that I'm kind of skeptical about increasing the dosage is because I personally am allergic to citric acid. And I don't know how that would affect as far as would that trigger any allergic reactions in me with taking all that vitamin C. I'm not sure. But, it's at this point in time, it's just time to really take this seriously and for us to protect ourselves. And then again, I've made a vow to cut the dairy out of my diet. Point blank, period. That was my Achilles heel. Like cheese, not milk, because I didn't drink milk. I was drinking like almond milk. I've been on that. I've been drinking almond milk, been drinking, well, I didn't drink soy milk, just almond. But, I that wasn't the problem. My problem was cheese. But I'm going to tell you so quickly, if you have asthma, if you are asthmatic, you do not want to take that chance. Give yourself a fighting chance. Cut the dairy out of your diet today. Like seriously, today. Yeah. Today. Like, you, and don't think that just because, oh, they're, you know what I'm saying, I trust the medical professional today. Okay. Cut the dairy out today. They're not going to tell us things like this because there's a whole industry behind dairy. So they're not going to put people over profit. The right thing to do would be for our medical, you know, the department or whatever, you know what I'm saying, the CDC, whatever, to tell people to stop drinking milk and stop eating cheese and stop doing all these things that are going to build up mucus, that are nothing but building more mucus up in your system. They're not going to tell you that. So that's when it comes where a village has to come together and tribe has to come together, and we have to, you know what I'm saying, teach these things. You take elderberry. I do not take elderberry. I do not take elderberry. However, I've heard elderberry is another natural remedy for, you know, for building up your immune system. So I'm not sure about that. I can only share what I'm doing and what I've been doing. And this is a person who has severe sinus. I'm talking about, I get really sick typically in the springtime. If those who know me know, I got real bad sinuses. I'm allergic to pollen, like literally allergic to pollen. So I be like, it sound like a ninja, like sneezing that bad. My eyes will swell up, like all up under here will be swollen. This area is normally red and swollen. But because this season I was ahead of the game, I started doing the colloidal silver and vitamin C the first time when pollen season was starting to amp up. You know, I say early February, late January, early February-ish. I started doing this because I started to feel my sinuses starting to, you know, get bad or whatever. And thank God I had already been taking this, because I'm sure that for me, you know, saved me from a lot. Peace, Queen. Peace, Queen. I hope you're doing well. But I just want to send, again, this whole video is about prevention. I don't want to see another life needlessly gone over something that, you know, now that we know enough information to know how to protect ourselves, I don't want to see anyone else, you know what I'm saying, as far as, I mean, if we can help it, let's help it. And how we help it, cut that dairy out your diet, out your family's diet as well, and spread the message to others as well, especially our elders, especially the elderly, and especially people with the immune system deficiencies or different things, different types of different diagnoses that compromise the immune system. Cut dairy out. Because if we waiting on them to tell us that, we'll be waiting, you know what I'm saying? We'll be sitting at you know, planning another funeral. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to tell us that, because that's a $1 billion industry. But I'm telling you, that is not what you need right now. You don't need things that add mucus to your system. You need things that are going to remove mucus, or not even to remove it, but to allow mucus not even to be built up in your system. One thing, vegetation. I've been preaching this a long time. Vegetables, fruits and veggies. Those are good places to start. Fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables. Water, 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 people. Water. This bottle is empty, but water. Water. A lot of us do not drink enough water. We drink juice all day. We drink sodas. We drink all kind of other stuff that, again, mucus will build up more mucus in our system. And room temperature water. Room temperature water. If you can stand room temperature water, or even they say warm water. But teas, you got echinacea tea. You got echinacea. I make a tonic myself when I get like sick. I have a tonic that I make that is comprised of echinacea. I will get echinacea. I will get raw ginger. I will get raw turmeric. I will get lemon, lime, and oranges. I will slice those lemon, put this in a big pot, get you some alkaline water or a good water, some spring water. And I'm not talking about just, distilled water, because we all know distilled water really is just, water that is like city water that's been, that they may have run through a filter, maybe once or twice, and, no, get you some good water. Again, this is about giving your immune system a fighting chance. But anyway, so in a big pot, I will put, this is a good tonic. Put your water in there, put your teas in there, however many bags of tea, however strong you want to make it. Typically I will be making it for myself. So typically I may do maybe, like, depending on how big the pot is, if I'm doing a pot about that size, I probably do 2 and 2. So I probably do 4 bags of echinacea tea up in there. And then I will chop up my raw ginger, of course, skin it, chop it up, throw it up in that pot. I will chop up my turmeric root. We're talking about, and I'm not talking about, I'm talking about the actual plant itself, the turmeric root. Slice, skin it, chop it up, throw it up in the pot. Then I would take my lemons, my limes, and orange. I will slice that up. I'll leave the peels on. I don't know if it's any medicinal benefits to that or what, but I leave the peels on. I throw that in that pot. I will let that, simmer and simmer. Not necessarily just trying to make it boil, but because I feel like the longer, like if you slow cook it, it's better than just turning the heat up and boiling it. So I would let that simmer real nice, and after about 15 or 20 minutes, put the lid on to keep all the juices inside. But about 20 minutes, or if you want to go longer, you can go longer with it. But go ahead and put it in your cup, and enjoy something that's really about to clear all that up. I'm talking about, there have been times when I was like real legit sick, and taking that faithfully, that tonic right there alone, faithfully, that echinacea tonic is what I call it. Within a few days, my health is returning. My health starts to return. So I just want to give you guys different ways, different methods, and I want to beseech you to not be consuming dairy products right now. Do not drink milk, cow's milk. Do not drink milk. Do not consume cheese. Don't do it. I started this morning putting 4 cloves of garlic, and also with local honey. Exactly. And when I would make my tonic, I would put honey in it to sweeten it, but yeah. But we have to protect ourselves right now. We can't wait for, anyone to, you know, really protect us the way that we need to be protected. But I speak that we are going to get through this. I'm going to tell y'all something that was given to me last night. Uh, a lot of us were given real promises about 2020. I can't speak for anyone else, but I remember going into 2020 on fire because there was a promise that was put inside of me. And for a lot of us, there yin and yang, right? We have to have, for all that good and all that promise, the promise that God put inside of us, there has to be an equal and opposing force. Why? Because it builds us. It gives us character. It gives us, you know, I won't even say it's a testament. You know what I'm saying? It's a testament, and it's a test as well. So it was given to me last night that this is a test for many people. This is not just for, you know, just one person. This is for all of us. All of us who were aware enough to understand the promise, first of all. Because thankfully we went into 2020 with that promise, knowing that 2020 finna be my year. How many people said that? How many people started this year off saying 2020 is going to be my year? I can do this. This is what, you know, you had your plan, you got your, you know, and you worked your plan, and you've been working your plan. And then this happens. So what was given to me was just to remind everyone that after this, there's something right on the other, like literally on the other side of this. It's there. And whatever it is for you, you know, only you know that. But literally on the other side of this, it's right there. This is, I feel like this is that point right before the person like dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I just want to give up. But you're 2 feet away from the finish line. And it just started pouring rain, and you just want to give up, and it's like, dang, but it's raining so hard. But don't give up. Don't give up. We're going to make it through this. Please fortify yourself. Please make sure you are giving your body and your immune system a fighting chance by using discipline, and also vitamin D as well. And you know, we can naturally get vitamin D from the sun, guys. We can naturally get vitamin D from the sun. Although we've been told to quarantine up in our houses, this, from what I'm told, now correct me if I'm wrong, this virus cannot survive in heat. This virus likes cold. It likes the cold, you know. But from what I'm told, now this is, again, I am not a medical professional, and I am not professing that. I am, however, a person who can share things that have worked for me, and who understands how biology works. So I can share enough to say that this is sound information. But anyway, I'm told that this virus does not like heat. So I would think it would be wise for us to be sunbathing. Me personally, I would think it would be wise to get out and stand out in the sun, along with eliminating mucus building foods and liquids from our diets, and also building our immune system through things like vitamin D and colloidal silver. So that's what I wanted to share. Y'all be well. Remember, on the other side of this, like we're right there at the precipice, you know. And at the precipice doesn't mean it's gonna happen tomorrow. That doesn't mean that. That means that we're on the verge of a new thing happening, a new age, a new way of thinking, a new way of looking at each other, you know what I'm saying, as human beings, and respecting human life. We're on the verge of something new. And when you're at the verge of something new, it has to be the equal and opposite energy attacking. You know, it's never going to be. That is the concept of the yin and yang symbol, because life is not just going to be just, you know, all good. You know, like we like to say, oh, it's all good. Life ain't going to be all good. It's not going to be all good. But guess what else? It's not going to be all bad either. Because in this, we have an opportunity to refocus, you know? Refocus. Like, what? For many of us, we drown ourselves in work because we don't want to think about life. We don't want to deal with, you know what I'm saying, the things that in our day-to-day mundane tasks. We don't want to have to deal with those things. So we drown ourselves in, you know, in jobs and whatever else. So maybe this is an opportunity to refocus. Maybe this is an opportunity to do just that. But yeah, so don't quit. It may be close when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when you are hardest hit. I think that's excellent advice. I do believe that is excellent advice. And also, I posted yesterday about edible vegetation. Sometimes when I say things, I feel like y'all just don't understand. I had to, like, really process myself before I posted that, because I was like, are people going to take this the right way? Are people going to, you know, I still battle with that sometimes, because again, I'm always thinking ahead. I'm never thinking like just at surface face value of I'm always thinking ahead. So I'm sharing things with you, you know, in the event that you had to, and this is something to think about. I want everyone to seriously think about this. If you were in a position where, you know, you had to be able to be self-sufficient, even down to being able to feed yourself, being able to identify edible foods that grow naturally in the wild versus, you know, you picking up something to eat something and it could be poisonous. Could you do that? And why are tools like this not seen as relevant, or not seen as important, or seen as, you know, an extreme, when being self-sufficient actually is power in that? Because if you think about it, for my, you know, people who read, study the Bible, let's think about the story of Noah. You know what I'm saying? Like, Noah was trying to tell people, you know, like, y'all, I've been given this message. It's about to rain. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's getting ready to rain. You know what I'm saying? And he started building an ark, right? Everybody was like, ha, ha, ha. Look at Noah over there building that ark. He looks so stupid. Why he over there building this ark? It ain't rained in 10 million years. No, I'm just kidding. It ain't rain. But it hadn't rained in a long time. You know what I'm saying? It don't rain that much. And when it do rain, you know, it's just like we put an umbrella up. And you know what I'm saying? You know, they say that Noah was a drunk. I bet he was. He had to drink, dealing with people that he trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you something, you know what I'm saying? You're not even paying attention to what I'm saying. But anyway, he built his ark. And, you know, sooner or later, it started raining. And then everybody that, you know, he was trying to, oh, that's what you were talking about. I got you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, y'all, I mean, these are just little things that we can do. These are just little things that we can do. They can be fun. Why not do it while it's fun? Why not do it? Why not teach our children these things while it's fun to teach these things? Not because we're in a state of panic and we have to Not because we're in a state of panic and, we have no way to get to food, or we, I'm saying, something has happened that has compromised our ability to get to a grocery store. Why not do it while it's fun? Why not do it while we have time? Why not do it while, while the seasons are, favorable to see little wild things growing, right there in our backyard? Why not do these things while it's not a sense of I have to do these things? That's the best time to learn something new, when the anxiety is not there. That's the best time to do it. That's the best time to do it. So I would advise you, if you have not looked at that list of 20 edible wild vegetation plants, and elderberry being one of those, elderberry being a natural, vegetation that grows, just wild. I've seen on one of my walks before elderberry growing, and I was like, oh, okay, well, and me being, I wanted to, before I actually picked it and ate it, I just wanted to verify, because I was kind of like, I guess I'm just getting through this whole sense of, this innate fear of the outdoors. I don't know why we just have been taught to be afraid. We afraid of everything outside, y'all. I can't speak for nobody else, but I gotta speak for myself, especially in the springtime, because too many things be flying around, and you be like, oh shoot, is that gonna bite me? Is that something that's gonna bite me? Like, can I touch this? Okay, is this a poison ivy or a poison oak? Or, what I'm saying? Like, because we don't really know a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. But again, why not at this point, when it's not a situation where, it's all hysteria and panic and all this kind of stuff, start teaching yourself different things, teaching yourself about how to grow food, teaching yourself about different, edible vegetation that grows. I think that would be so cool for for children to be able to get out and go and look, because I can't speak for y'all. Who else was making mud pies when you were a child? I used to go in the backyard and make mud pies. Like, I would be so interested in, like, the little pieces of grass. We had wild onion that would grow in our backyard. So I would go and I would take, like, like a little I make me a little mud pie bowl, and I pour some water up in there, and I would go and get, like, the little wild onions and like do them like this, and like I was cooking some. I had my own little garden out there, and it's so amazing when I think back on those things as an adult, like how aligned everything is, like it all makes sense. It all comes full circle. Interesting quarantine also means 40, and speaking of Noah, it rained 40 days and 40 nights, left us very in the ark. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I pray that we become forward thinkers. I pray that we all become forward thinkers, and it doesn't, when we hear things that may be different than what we're accustomed to, or different to the speed of things that we're accustomed to, we're not so easily dismissive of those things, or we're not so easy to call people or different ideas, call them irrelevant, or to call them outlandish, when honestly, a lot of the things that people are talking about, a lot of the things that people have been talking about as far as it relates to holistic health, and it relates to being self-sufficient and returning to more self-sufficient ways of, and not only self-sufficient ways, but eco-friendly ways of, caring for ourselves as well as caring for the earth. They're not outlandish at all. When you get down to the middle of them, they're actually very, very imperative. They're actually the only way that we're going to prolong human life on this planet, is if we go back to doing things a certain type of way. So I really want to share that with you guys. Fortify your immune systems. Do not consume dairy during this time. No dairy. No dairy. Pass this message along to others as well. Your friends, your family, whoever, let them know nobody needs to be drinking milk right now. You can get your calcium in supplement form. You can get your calcium in vegetation. There are plants that you can get calcium from. I will share different plants that you can get calcium from. But milk, cheese is nothing but mucus party time, okay? Yeah, mucus is gonna have a whole party up in your system if you continue to eat cheese and milk. Point blank and period. You are not giving yourself a fighting chance by not letting go and disciplining yourself enough to say, okay, let me cut this. You know what I'm saying? Especially now, I love y'all. Y'all be well. If you want to watch this from the beginning, once I get done, I just share some, vitamin C. And I was talking about colloidal silver, vitamin C, and asking everyone not to drink milk. All right, y'all be good. I'll talk